G'day guys, what's cracking? It's Ralph here, and this morning I thought I would take you with me, well, to capture this shot. Yes, epic, I know. You're gonna have to wait with me till the sun comes up. The sun is coming up directly behind me. That is the Tasman Bridge, and this is the Derwent River. And if you see my very first Hobart vlog, I shot this bridge from the other side, and then my second vlog you would have seen this incredible sunrise, and today we're going to see what happens. But this shot is inspired by this shot. Now I'll give you full credit for who this is. I've not heard of them before. They're obviously a local photographer. I've been looking at this all week and I'm thinking I'd love to take that shot, but I don't know where I'm going to get the boat from. So I'd love to recreate the shot. The shot I think was taken 10-20 years ago. It was taken some time ago, and I know that because of tree growth and through other shots that he has around the place. They're well taken, but the content is dated, which is a good thing. And then today, you can't see it, but there's a boat there. There's a boat permanently moored here. And if you go to Google Maps, you will see that this particular position where it opens up, where there's no trees here and no trees here, after having trees everywhere, is not a photo spot on the map, even though a bunch of other photo spots on the map are completely obscured by trees. I'm taking this kind of photography where it's really dark, but you know it's going to be light. You're not worried about capturing something right now. What you're worried about is composing a shot. So your composition, right? So what I always do is I focus on what I think will be the subject, and in this case it's the boat, and then I'm firing off a shot. And I'm looking through this, and as I increase my shutter speed, so as it goes up in seconds, or I can increase my ISO, I can see what's out there that I might not be able to see with my naked eye, and I can compose a shot. And so then I take a shot at the right exposure, so I go back to the right exposure, I take a shot, and then I can evaluate afterwards, knowing where the sun's going to be. And the sun is going to rise just here, which means if the sun has any glow or any colour or anything, it's going to come from the centre there, which is where the Tasman Bridge hits the mainland. Apologies if you're a Tasmanian, you just got offended because I called that the mainland. I don't know, the other side of the river, but it's a big river. It's kind of like a bay. Yeah. And so this is going to take that shot, and it might be okay. Here's the shot, but what we're looking at is composure. Now, just looking at this shot, put in the comments below what you feel is wrong with the composition of this shot. For me, it feels fairly obvious, and that is that everything is happening of interest on the left-hand side. And in some scenarios, that might be really creative. In this, it's just totally annoying. The other thing to note about this shot is how blurry the boat is. So this is a 240-second exposure. Let's zoom in on the boat, and we'll see that the boat's moving, absolutely, but not a tremendous amount. And that's really, really helpful, because it means as I lower my shutter speed, I could probably get away with, say, 15 seconds of the boat not moving a great deal. There is a fair bit of wind, which is why the grass in front of that shot really looks blurry and all over the shot. But I can actually muck about with those two things. I can take a couple of exposures once I get my composition right, and I'm happy. And I can actually move my camera to the right, so I can move further down here next to this railway line, which I don't actually know what it does, and I had a bit of a Google, and I still don't know what it does. And actually, if I shoot here, which you won't be able to see, but the bridge is there, the boat's there, and there's some shrubbery and trees. We've got the grass, so it actually frames the shot much nicer. And well, this is what this composition looks like. The sun doesn't come up for another hour and a half, and just took this shot, and what I discovered is all the red on the horizon you cannot see. It's of a light spectrum that I just cannot see. It's still dark, but on my photo it's light. So I thought I'm just gonna hurry up. So I dropped my shutter speed, so I went really, really quick compared to what I had been. I increased my ISO, and I dropped my aperture to 1.8, which this lens will do, to capture everything nice and crisp and sharp, and get that boat in focus. And here's what that shot looks like. That's all right, hey? Like, pretty happy with that. I'm gonna muck about with that little composition for a little while, and getting that boat as sharp as absolutely possible. And we're gonna wait and see what the sky does. I always do this. I set up, I'm like, all right, when the light conditions become perfect, I'll take this shot, and then something else captures my attention. But this morning, I really hope to be disciplined enough to stay on task and to get my composition right, and then to nail the shot when the light comes up and the light is at its best. And my hunch is that from this angle, we're gonna go to a pano. This shot is coming along superbly. And again, you still can't see much at all, but the red band is looking glorious. And I've actually framed, by luck, by chance, by skill, the sky in the shot. So the sky fills out the right hand side that was looking a little bit like left alone and neglected, and that boat, I've got enough leeway that I can put that boat in the middle if I like, or it's just slightly off middle. I don't mind it's slightly off middle. I think it just catches you by surprise rather than your eye looking at it and going, yeah. So it causes you, almost irritates in a good way, your eye in, but every composition is different. The other thing I've realized too is every so often I have to refocus. This is my 20mm 1.8. Got it on manual. It doesn't have vibration reduction. It's a landscape lens, so it doesn't need that. I primarily use this for astro, and I'm about to purchase the f4 14-28. This is a Z-mount to go with the Z-mount lenses because I want a really sharp lens. This isn't, maybe it's over time, it's not become sharp, it's not as sharp as I'd like, and also the focus changes. So I'm focused, I'm set, I'm all good, I can take a few shots, I find I have to readjust the focus. So I found on the F-mount lenses, there's that little frustration or shortcoming that you just need to be aware of, because you don't want to get home and realize, oh no, I should have just refocused and retweaked that. So I'm constantly in that process of making sure this is focused. And then the question of the day is, would you like to come with me as we go platypus hunting? After this, I'm going to grab a coffee and I'm going to go platypus hunting. Would you like to come? And if you're like, what is a platypus? Then you have to come, and here's the link. Providing I went and found any. Yeah, if there's no link, just wait till the end of the video. There might be a link and I just forgot to put this one up. There's always that possibility. What I absolutely love about this shot at the moment is I've got the lights of the bridge still on, and I've got the sunrise coming through. So I've got some reflection from the light on the bridge, and the bridge is a feature, which is different from that one I showed you earlier, but photography changes over the years, right? And it may have been taken with film as well, whereas digital is much, much easier. It's only a matter of time till the lights turn off. I'm not sure what time that is, but we're gonna make the most of it while it's here. So I'm just gonna, well, here's where we're up to at the moment, this shot right now. The shot is coming along extremely well. I am well satisfied. We've got some color now coming into the shot, which is really, really nice. I would like to hear from you if you prefer these vlogs or product reviews, because I've currently swung into more vlogging because I wanted to get back to the heart and the passion of what I really love doing, and taking you with me on that. But also, I want to share things that are of help to you. So what is of most help? Is it the settings I use? Is it the gear I use? Is it the composition? Is it just the location? Is it my stunning personality that you're like, oh, I need a hit of that to get me through the week? I'm not fragile. I know the deal. You don't have to. Don't be nice. I'll stop it. You can be nice if you want. If you've just signed off, I understand entirely. Let's get back to the shot. I've worked out through process of elimination that I can actually shoot 3 seconds without that boat looking muddy and blurry. Yeah, or like, you know how it has that like that sort of effect in a still photograph. And so with 3 seconds, that gives me a little bit of extra buffer, and the choice is, do I move my ISO, which is at 500, or do I move my aperture? And what I'm choosing to do is move my aperture, because I want to move my aperture to the sweetest spot of the lens. As you'll notice, my aperture is really, really low, so I want to put it up to around a 9 or a 10 or 11, which also enables more of the shot to be in focus, because at the moment, really the only thing in focus is the boat, which is fine, because the boat is the subject and everything else kind of hugs around it. Which brings me to talk about my foreground. My foreground, I'd love for these grass reed things to be really crisp and clear, but the challenge is there is a constant breeze. It's coming straight off the Arctic Ocean, and it's freezing my hands. This hand, I don't know what it's doing. I've completely lost all feeling in it, but I'd love that to be like just sharp, but it's not going to get sharp. But I'm using the land and the trees to hold in, so to pull you in and hold you in the photo. And I think that's a really valuable thing you can do with composition, using curvature or lines on the edges to push you into the photo, rather than leading you into the photo to push you into the photo. So instead of leading lines, it's pushing lines. You heard it here first. In 10 years time, when everyone is saying you just need to develop pushing lines, right here it happened. You and me in the freezing. You're probably in your couch, or maybe you don't watch me in the toilet, do you? Oh. We have got a little bit more undisciplined in these recent vlogs, haven't we? The sky is changing in its ferocity and its colour, and it's actually lessening and moving down. And so instead of filling the sky, it's actually receding. Now it may come back in a little while, that's totally fine, because the sunrise here lasts for forever, which is epic. But what that means is, at the moment, a couple of shots I had earlier were better. Now here's the shot I've just taken, and you'll notice the sky. Look at the depth of sky that has colour in it, and actually there's not enough of it compared to this shot, which has more sky in it. So you have to be aware of these things and attentive to these things. What I love about keeping the shutter speed as long as I possibly can with the boat still in focus is that those colours from the bridge on the water are retained, and you can play about with them. They just look smoother and nicer in that space. Sunrise is at 7:24 today, and at the moment it's 6:45. So I'm 45 minutes off sunrise, and the colour is all but gone from the sky. There's a little bit there, but it's all but gone. It was glorious, and now it's gone. So to just wrap your head around this for a sec, you can miss the sunrise and still be at sunrise an hour before the sun rises. Insane. So the earlier you can get here, and the better, and play with your ISO to see what's actually happening in the sky so you can be ready for it, rather than rocking up now. See, if you turned up now, you'd be like, oh, it's just started and I'm ready. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, and we'll see shortly, but there's a chance nothing's going to happen, and you think, oh, it was a bit of a fizzer, when actually you've missed it because you weren't here an hour before, 45 minutes before the sun rises. Whew. There's this competition called the Pano Awards, put on by Panasonic, and I got a highly commended a couple of years ago, and so they asked me to re-enter, and I was like, oh, that's all very nice, but I really want to enter just a banger. And this morning, I think the shot's got enough in it to warrant an entry. This shot, I'm more happy with this shot than I am with the one I look at in the foyer of the hotel where we're staying. So I can't complain. I'm not complaining, I'm stoked. This is unheard of, but we're 20 minutes away from sunrise, and I'm going home, because I think I've bagged this shot I was after, and the high cloud, it's never amounted to anything, it's never popped. So I'm just gonna call it. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna get a cuppa, drop Lyndall at the conference, and then we're going platypus hunting. So if you want to come, see if there's another video in a few seconds. What I'm going to do now is just show you all the photos I took this morning, like all of them, and I'm going to merge them from one to another to another to another to another, so you can sort of see how we went this morning. And yeah, it'd be interesting to know which one of them you think would be the one that you would stop at and go, oh, that's good. So I'll put them on the same crop, same edit, and we'll pump them through, and we'll see which one you like, because I think I know which one I like, and we'll see if Panasonic in the Landscape Pano Awards like it too, which they'll like it, they'll be polite because they love photography, but I don't think I'm going to win, but got to be in it to win it. Thanks everybody, subscribe, like, see ya!
My heart is beating to your drum, and I'm blinded by the the sunshine in your eyes. Not thinking twice, am I this dumb? Although I know you're all I want. How could I crave something so bad? My sweaty palms reveal a warning I should hear. But I don't care, you drive me mad. I'll ignore the truth and run to you. So we could drive away. You'll hear me say everything is gonna be okay. I don't need nobody else. Obsessed with you, try to stop me, but I'm under your spell. Can't help myself.
If you live on the Gold Coast, you guys should move to Tassie for a week. Take photos and then go back to where it's warm, where you can thaw out, because it's like living in a fridge.
You know too well